So, sir, from what I read, karma means actions. So, what you think consciously and subconsciously, and what one does, and so on. Our future thought process and actions depends on the karma, what karma for past, and also the what we do in our present. But there is a buzz in the society right now that karma is actually a boomerang. How is it possible to say that what goes around will definitely come back to us? And if it is true, then what is the force that is actually taking care of that particular dharma?
See, the moment you say that karma is something that comes around to you, as is the popular saying, then you are postponing or relegating the fruit of your actions to the future, aren't you? Now, first of all, then we allow ourselves this uncertainty that what we have done, its result may or may not come to us. Second, even if it is certain that the result is indeed going to be received by us, it would happen in the future, at an uncertain date in the future, and no one knows how long in the future it might take. So, the entire power, the kick is quite lost. The real meaning and the real implication of karma is quite different. Vedanta and all wisdom focus not so much on the action, which is karma, but on the actor. The actor is the primary entity. If the actor is conscious, awake, he understands, then one need not bother too much about the action. One need not scrutinize the action so much. The action would naturally be all right. But if the actor himself or herself is in a hazy state, badly influenced, heavily conditioned, then one need not wait for the results of the action. I like to say that the result of the action comes even before the action, because the actor comes before the action. A bad state of the actor is in itself a lot of suffering. So you don't have to wait for the results. Let's say you go for some pathetic deed. Now, how could you have committed that action without firstly being pathetic inwards? Right? And if you are bad and rotten inside, then what bigger punishment can you receive? The punishment has already been received. Future becomes immaterial. One need not look at the future to ascertain whether or not the fellow was rewarded or punished for what he did, because the punishment or the reward comes before the action. However, we see that because we have a very unfortunate power to be heavily acclimatized. So, we become kind of used to suffering. When you become used to suffering, you do not see that you are suffering. And it's a funny situation then. The suffering one says, I did such and such things, Now I want to test whether I would receive suffering as a result of my acts. Why do you need to receive suffering in the future? What you did arose out of your pre-existing suffering. So that's the way it is. And also this makes various catchphrases like karmic account and karmic balance all quite meaningless, because they are all born out of a very shallow understanding of karma. See, you and I address each other as you and I. So this I is our primary identity, right? This I is the actor, thinker, doer, understander, everything. So the purpose of wisdom is to deal with this I. All that this I does, etc., comes way later. Far more example than the deed is the doer, because the doer is the I. And why are we talking so much about this I? Because that's our primary identity. You say, I am happy, I am sad. You do not say anything that does not directly or indirectly contain I. You stand at the center of your own personal universe, right? And it is for your own betterment that you turn to wisdom or to management studies or to anything else in life. Therefore, it is commonsensical that talking about actions and then the rewards of actions and then the subsequent future and such things does not make much sense. Rather, we need to come to the primary entity that concerns us, and that primary entity is the I. So we have to talk of the doer, the actor, this one that we are, the one we associate ourselves with, the one we live our lives as.